We have ominous noise. Hey guys, this is Jim, aka Armorama, and we're doing an update on our Atlantis map. As you can see, it's dry down there. I think I figured out the best way to do this. And that is, I started from the inside area here where I had that 2x2 tree, and essentially started dropping sand and gravel in a ring, circular ring, until I had two levels, and then I took out one level, and then made another ring or another outside, and that way I can reuse materials, so I'm not having to like find that much sand to fill in the whole thing at once. That would be Herculean. But this way, for instance, you can just do this kind of effect and create your secondary outer wall before you take your inner wall down. And of course, again, I'm going to need a lot of sand and gravel to do this, but it is doable versus other methods. So I've actually got, I'm going to take this wall down, right? Yeah, so anyways, see, I've got this inner wall that needs to come down. I'm not going to do it like this, though. I'm going to kind of go down 3 and then do this effect. The only thing with this sand and gravel as the outer wall is you have to be careful not to pierce your outer wall and potentially create a flood above. It's not going to, be like real Mother Nature, and essentially if you did that, the entire thing would come down. But you're going to have to fix it, and that slows you down, etc., etc. So I believe it's just this, yeah, just this one. But you can get the idea. It's, not an incredible, well, it's still a large project, but it reduces the potential for how much you're going to have to, so I've got a lot of shovels, how much you're going to have to get in terms of resources, because, while there is as you expand outward, it increases obviously the length, or the size of the square. On the other hand, as we go further out, the square is going to get shorter and shorter and shorter. So at some point, you will have to get less materials, or you'll actually have more materials than you need, essentially, at some specific height level. Well, actually, I'm not sure that's true. I'm not a mathematician, so I'm going to assume that is going to happen. So yeah, this is the SuperDome that we're building, and you can see I've actually expanded out the stone work on all 4 sides now, so you can see exactly how large this thing is going to have to be complete. You can see we've done maybe about a quarter of it, I would think, which is actually really good. I've only been working on this for maybe 5-6 hours or something in total. Just, I'm saying just on the dome itself. Maybe longer. I don't know. It's hard to judge time in these games sometimes. I'm going to get some glass, though. Where is the glass? Oh, what? Am I out of glass? There's some iron. Huh. Maybe am I out of glass, or did I just put it someplace weird? No, I think I'm out of glass. Got ladders. Do I have any? I don't even have any sand on me. I should have brought some sand back with me. Wait, sand. There we go. That's not really a lot of coal. There we go, that's better. Okay, am I making something over here? I guess not. Would you guys, not talk so much? Because... He really wants these, emeralds for bookshelves. I suppose maybe if I give him emeralds for bookshelves, he'll go back to... That's a ridiculous amount of emeralds for 1 diamond sword. Easier to find diamonds. I did finish my library, my enchanting room, so now it's nice and complete. I put some glowstone in the floor there. Thought that worked out rather well. I tried enchanting a pickaxe, but I got really nada. With a gold pickaxe, it just gave me gave me whatever the thing is that makes it last longer. But since Since it doesn't last very long, that didn't really help me. Okay, I just need a little bit of glass to fix this one little error area. I also started digging a tunnel out in one direction using rail. I'm going out in this direction. Probably I'm like out where that hill is maybe right now. Holy crap! Where did you spawn from? I don't understand how this is happening. Somehow he's spawning. These guys are somehow spawning like against the glass or something. Well, I guess maybe it might have been dark enough out there. Dude, you're so falling down that. Okay, we're back, and I have... Oh, that's a little bit of a fall. I've cleaned out all the netherrack that was in here, and we're down to this level. So you can, as you see, this is just a matter of expanding outward. I'm not quite sure when I get over to here what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to fill in, I guess, or something when I get to the part where I can't actually stand, you know, like reach that part over there. So that'll still require a little bit of fill, and but it would be a lot less than the way it was going before. So, and this has gotten certainly a lot bigger from the 2x2 that I started with. So, but I was right. It is a factor of 12 stacks. Each time I add another, you know, go out by one, it's 12 more stacks, and I believe these are about maybe 25 to 30 tall. Pretty good progress here on the SuperDome and trying to get the SuperDome excavated. You can see that the 1/4 piece is pretty far along. I've discovered a method which I think is pretty good actually at doing the necessary quick rapid evacuation of the water. I was using sand and gravel to essentially dump it down the sides, but I think I'm actually going to use a new system now, which is the door method. And I'm not sure if the door method's ever been used by anybody else before, but I think it actually is quite a big time saver. You can see in this little section here, I've placed a bunch of doors. Well, I had to place down obviously one level of dirt, and then there was water up to this top level, so that evacuated all this water, these two things. The nice thing about this is, though, you can do a section as you, essentially little bits of it at a time. You have to maybe erect some walls or door walls and things like that, but essentially what you end up with is a time-saving thing, because you're not actually having to look for resources once you have an X amount of doors you're using. And speaking of doors, I need to set down some chests, because I'm going to need to put some doors in the chests. I'll just put them right here. So anyways, here, actually let me use that block as a perch. The nice thing about it is obviously you're evacuating three blocks in one dirt, essentially, block hit. So it's a little more time saving than the regular method, or the method I was using, let's say. There are probably other things you could use besides doors, although I'm not sure if any of them would be as efficient. And considering all the wood that you can now gather out in the dead forest out here, this is the only tricky part. It's better to get... Actually, well, it's better if you can stand on something and do it, like this. Standing is always more efficient than trying to hover on water, or be underwater, period, but with my helmet, I can do it pretty well. Alright, so now I just want to make sure I grab up all these doors, because they're valuable resources, and they will use up a lot of spaces. Note to Jeb, please make doors stack. That's not going to happen. Probably one of the reasons why they didn't allow doors to stack was because probably didn't feel like you should be really collecting a bunch of doors. And doors should be bulky and use up a lot of space. But that was kind of a bad example. Let me kind of show you via probably an easier example of how simple it is to do this. As soon as I gather up some more dirt and doors here, you can see though I'm still quite a bit of water to evacuate out of this area. But it's progressing. It's progressing. Some of you are probably like, why in God's name would you do this? especially on survival mode, not on creative. Well, I think I've covered this in previous videos, but it's kind of the challenge thing. I mean, you know, I enjoy the challenge of doing something. If nobody's ever built an underwater dome this big on survival, I can say, hey, I did that. I think I got all the doors. All right, so it's getting dark. Unfortunately, that does make the... actually, you know what? I'm going to pause here. Sleeps, make it light again. Okay, we're back, and I realized that probably some of you are looking at my pickaxe going, oh my god, he's using a diamond pickaxe to clear out dirt. Yeah, I am. I got tired of replacing pickaxes, so it's like, it just, or excuse me, not pickaxes, shovels. And if I'm very careful with this, it's very efficient, obviously, without having enchantment or anything, even. I believe I told you earlier that I had one with an enchantment, efficiency enchantment, and that one would have been impossible to use because it would have essentially broken glass every time I tried to use it in that scenario. I was just using it. But I think I've used up maybe 2 or 3 of these diamond shovels in the process of doing all this. Not all of this, obviously, but in the process of switching. So I just feel like it's a better save. I can find more diamonds. That's not a problem. And it only uses up 1. It's not like a diamond pickaxe because it uses 3. It only uses 1. Hey guys, just a little quick addendum update. I think I figured out the perfect system to use with the doors. And that is like this. Put a level of doors on the ground. Put a level of sand above the doors. Put another level of doors. You're taking out 5 levels. No, you're taking out 5 levels at once. I believe this will work. Let me just check. I don't want to do the last row here. But here is the first one. So, boop. And boop. Did I get both doors is the question. Oh no, the other door's up there. Alright, yep, it works. It works. I need a shovel though. This is going to take forever. Anyways, just a little quick addendum. I knew eventually I'd figure out the best possible scenario, but I think that's definitely it because you could even do a lot of levels. Now you need a lot of doors, obviously, to do huge areas. You probably just want to segment them and do them a little bit at a time. But even if you're only doing a small section and you keep repeating over and over again, you're gonna save serious time. So, anyways, just again, little addendum for the end. So here's the area I was just showing you I was excavating, and you can see this is the actual height it was over here in terms of the water. Yeah, I mean, I did this in probably less than a half an hour, I think. So that's pretty good. I mean, that's a huge cubic area of water. Still have lots to go, obviously. But to give you an example, I cleared out using sand. I cleared out this area over here from about... I'll say about here over, and that took me probably more like an hour. So, yeah, I think that system works mainly because it's you could really do like multiple levels. You could do 3 or 4 levels and essentially knock them out with one or 2 actually. Well, how many ever levels of sand you had, you'd have to essentially keep hitting to take out the sand. But by the way, you drop the sand on top of the door. That's how it works. All right, well, a little addendum to the addendum. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, that is a tree. A jungle tree is in the middle of my dome. Ha 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 ha. So at this point I've excavated this much of the first quarter. And I've successfully gotten a jungle tree to grow here in the middle. I hope nothing's going to spawn in there. I don't think any mobs spawn in trees. Hopefully, like not on the exposed wood areas anyways. But, no big deal. My biggest fear, though, is having a creeper like blow out one of these walls and having a massive flood. Not that it wouldn't be able to be repaired, but still. Anyways, you can see I can probably break down the fish thing pretty easily soon, and I'm going to keep the original little dome just kind of as almost like a little memorial-y thing. But yeah, this is going to be really crazy when it gets done. Just to give you a perspective. Ooh, spooky noise, spooky noise. Let me get over here to this door. Door. Okay, so like you're in the very far edge of the dome here, right? And you're looking over at the tree. Does that not look pretty damn far away? It's like, whoa. I noticed that earlier when I was going outside. It just seems like that's like pretty far away. Like if you saw that in the game, you'd be like, oh, that tree's far away. So yeah, it's a bit weird. But I have to admit, this has actually been kind of fun, just as a challenge anyways, to get all this excavated and stuff. So, as you can see, I'm growing some oaks too. I went ahead and opened up this whole section, and I'm getting the grass that's my original grass block to spread out through here, so this should all be greened pretty soon. Well, soon relatively. Hey guys, this is Jim for another Atlantis update, and we have done it, or I have done it, I should say. I have cleared out 1/4, plus a little bit of the center, obviously, of the SuperDome. So this is it. This is 1/4 of the SuperDome cleared out. At least at this level it's at right now. I could actually keep going down deeper, but then I'd kind of be digging it into the ground. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the base yet. I know I don't want it to really go down to glass. I may build kind of like a border wall around it, maybe using sandstone or something, or maybe brickstone or something. But we have achieved success. Our main area, our habitat area, is all exposed or all covered now. We've got trees, we've got cats. As soon as the grass grew in, the little ocelots started to pop up. And you can see I'm going to run over here, and there'll probably be there's one. There's a whole family of them over here usually. Oh look, yeah. So they're usually really hard to find, but not anymore. So obviously I've got a lot of cleanup to do and a little bit of planning in terms of when I want to actually, how do I want to lay this out. I know part of this will be forested, but I'm thinking maybe it's going to be some of the other parts, or maybe the center. I was thinking of doing like a jungle thingy in the center, and I was actually thinking of going down so that so that kind of like the outside rim is like the hills, and then as you go down, maybe you would go down into a center area, and that would be kind of like a lake or something, maybe with the trees in the middle of like a little island in the lake. So yeah, that could be pretty interesting. But again, the work involved is going to be pretty much still Herculean. Sorry, Ocelot, I know I'm chasing you away. So let's go outside and take a look around at the outside. Oh, it is nighttime. Too bad the sky doesn't draw in too well. I'm not sure what I have my render distances at. Let's see. Render distance far. Let's just change it to normal. That's probably what it's doing it. Back to game. There we go. Oh yeah, that looks better. Okay, so you can see now. Wow, yeah, that is a lot of glass, isn't it? And that's only 1/4 of it. Oh God. So yeah. I think there's some interesting stuff. I'm planning on doing a couple of things I thought of last night. Well, one of them is I want to do kind of an underwater Atlantean temple that's like, like kind of like from past Atlantis civilization or something. And I'll obviously need a lot of quartz, nether quartz for that to do all the columns and stuff. But that'll be out here kind of like maybe as an entry point to the dome, the SuperDome city. It's not really a city because I could put a city in under here if it was all that was the city. And to be honest, if you're going to go through this much work, there probably should be a city on the inside. Otherwise, why would you make this gigantic dome if you weren't going to put like a considerable population in there? So I'll have to think about that too. What I want to do in terms of buildings and that type of thing. I was thinking some of it would be underground, but that again. If you were living in a city under the water, you'd want to be able to use this glass dome to actually like have a pretty view and stuff. You wouldn't want to live underground. Yeah, anyways. All right, well, that's all rumbling through my head. But anyways, I just wanted to catch everybody up and show that this is done. This first quarter. So, huge section down and 3 more to go. Yeah, crazy, I know. All right. Catch you later.